maybe more than one. I just know the first one was, I think, Sam Bowie, who
right, and that was just lately to take care of John Calipari. So, Mr. Barr, how do you identify with Collinsville, Kentucky?
Well, I think it's about relationships. I mean, I think you have to build relationships, and like I said, I've tried to do that throughout my life, and it's important to continue to do that. And
well, I guess the question, Andy, is some people, once they're elected to office, including Governor Brereton Jones, I know, withdrew from their private country clubs, while they were in office. Would you do that? Would you consider it? I mean, do you think that's necessary? I don't.
I think the main thing is that people want to know that you're accessible to them. People want to know that you're willing to be part of a diverse community and reach out to people and listen to people. And especially if you run for public office, especially if you intend to be a member of Congress, you should represent everybody in your congressional district, and that's certainly what I will do if elected.
Well, sure sounds good when you're running. Let's see if you get lucky, see what you do then.
Okay, thank you, Wayne. Well, I've not been invited to join Eidelauer. I'm not upset that other people have been. That's sort of class warfare to me. Okay, this is Dan. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning. I kind of like to move the debate back to some fiscal questions here, if y'all don't mind. Andy, the Democrats haven't really put forward a budget yet, but the Republicans on the Budget Committee in Congress, and they're being led by Paul Ryan out of Wisconsin, they put forward the Republican budget, and if that were to come forward, if that was the budget to come up, would we be able to count on you to support that Paul Ryan budget?
Well, first of all, I think you bring up the initial point you make is a very good one. This is the first time since the budget law was passed in 1974 that a Congress has not passed a budget. That is just an abdication of responsibility in my judgment. I mean, we have a huge crisis of massive deficits, excessive spending, and no jobs. And a budget is basically the blueprint to get the economy moving again, and this Congress has failed to produce one. So I think that's a good point that you make. In terms of Congressman Ryan's proposal, some of the Republican proposals, obviously, in my judgment, they're much superior to the tax and spend approach that this president and that the leadership in Congress is taking.
So we can count on you to support the Republican budget?
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely. It's certainly, I'm not in Congress now, of course, but and I don't have an opportunity to support a particular budget, but that's certainly preferable. That budget, a leaner budget, is certainly preferable to the ones that have been offered by the President and the Speaker of the House.
Hey. Sorry, Dan. Cut you off sort of before you finish there. Didn't mean to. This is Andy. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning, Sue. I just wanted to comment that if the current administration is a friend of the, quote, working man, then we're in real trouble because we've got 9.5% unemployment. Many people are not even counted in that, people such as myself that are underemployed, and people that have given up finding a job because they just see the writing on the wall.
That's true.
And so if this administration, as the gentleman said, is a friend of the working man, then we're in real trouble, and I'll take change with Mr. Barr.
Well, Andy, thanks for your comments, and obviously you're one of many out there who are underemployed, and we need to get the economy moving again, and economic activity and free enterprise back to the priority so that people like you have better opportunities.
Hey, thank you, Andy. John, good morning.
Good morning, Andy. Do you have any plans to have Representative Bonnier come down here and campaign for you?
Well, we're certainly hoping to have as many people from
the reason that I want you to have John Bonnier challenge Ben Chandler to have his leader of his party come in here. If you have John Bonnier, challenge him to have Nancy Pelosi. I can tell you 3 or 4 keys to winning, and I don't know you from Adam, and I've met you a couple of times, but the one thing is that. The second thing is if you can live off of 2 things, and this is the only 2 issues in the state of Kentucky, despite what other people might say, and it's cap and tax and Barack Obama. And if you can really link Ben Chandler to those, and if you don't, you're going to lose. I mean, I'm being very blunt. Ben Chandler is for cap and tax. He voted for it, and there is a provision in cap and tax where you cannot have a wood-burning stove. You can't have one. And many people in the outlying areas of your district use those. And so